Hello and welcome to 5 at 5. Very important show today with plenty of breaking news coming your way in the next 10 minutes. But before I go to all of that, here's what Irfan Pathan has to tell us about the House at app.
क्या आप भी किसी अपने सपने मेरे तुम्हारे टीम 11 पे टीम बना रहे हो और बच्चों के साथ खेल रहे हो? हमारे साथ खेलोगे? हाउस ऐप पे खेलो लेजेंड्स के साथ. हमें हराओ और जीतो डबल कैश. Log on to houseapp.com and win real cash.
Hello and welcome to Sports Today 5 at 5. Like I said, plenty of breaking news coming your way. First and foremost, a lot of you, a number of you, we've been trying to push the cause of women's cricket for a fairly long time. And I'm sure, I did this program for Yash Lahoti and women's cricket zone. I've been writing about it. We've been trying to promote, the cause on Sports Today, trying to sort of find out as much as possible from the BCCI. Even after that, there have been some people who have trolled me saying what's going on uh, about the women's game, as if not the game not happening is something which is a triumph for them. I find this amazing that people who are trying to support the cause of women's cricket, you want to troll them and say that, oh, what are they doing? For God's sake, we don't get anything out of promoting or trying to figure out why the game is not happening and pushing the cause. We are invested in the women's game. You need to go and ask the players, and they will tell you very categorically. So that's where I'm coming from today. Plenty of breaking news on that front. Again, breaking on Sports Today. The women cricketers have been asked to assemble in their respective cities. The domestic cricket competition for women finally gets underway in an official form from 4th of March. 6 centers have been identified. Yes, anyone who's following it, you can take down the details. 6 centers have been identified where the women have been asked to assemble or will be asked to assemble for their RT-PCR COVID tests. The centers are Surat, Rajkot, Jaipur, Indore, Chennai, and Bangalore. I repeat, on the 4th of March, all of our domestic women cricketers have been asked to assemble or will be asked to assemble in the 6 centers: Surat, Rajkot, Jaipur, Indore, Chennai, and Bangalore. The tournament will have its final on the 4th of April. So that's the news point that I'm giving you today on Sports Today at the start. Domestic women's cricket officially starts on the 4th of March when these 6 cities will have our women cricketers assemble, and the final will be played on the 4th of April. Number 2, international women's cricket for the Indian team will get underway, as you know, against South Africa in March. And the South African team is expected to come to India this week, is expected to touch down this week. There are 2 cities finally which are in the pipeline to serve as hosts. Front runner Lucknow, number 2 Kanpur. One of these 2 cities will host the India versus South Africa series. Clearly, Lucknow is the front runner. That is where the women's games are supposed to be held between India and South Africa. So yes, this week the South African team is expected to touch down, and in March the series is supposed to get underway. Let me also tell you that the Indian team for the series has been selected, and we can expect the announcement to come any day, any time. The team has been selected. The BCCI secretary was present in the team selection meeting as well. Along with the selectors, the team has been picked. The captains of the 2 formats were also present, and we can expect an announcement of the teams very, very shortly, as soon as possible rather. So the series will be underway in March. 2 cities have been shortlisted, one Lucknow and number 2 Kanpur. We have to wait and see where the games are finally held. So I hope so-called trolls who, you have absolutely no reason to sort of try and become deflated, because our only cause is to promote the game. And by the way, I've spoken to multiple women cricketers over the last several hours, about 6 of them in the last 4 or 5 hours, and have touched base as to what the plan is, how they are going to go about things, what are the details, when will the game start. And believe me, each of them are excited about coming back on the park. So that's my primary focus today on sports today. So I've given you news point number one on domestic cricket, news point number two on international cricket, as far as the Indian women's team is concerned. Number three, I mean, a lot of you are asking me questions. I'll just take a look also. Boria, any news on the Olympics? About any news on the Olympics? Shivanshu Tiwari and a number of others. The Manu Bhakar controversy I've already taken. Maxwell. Uh, and Kylie Jamieson. Okay, New Zealand actually destroyed Australia in that first T20. Devon Conway, what an impressive innings that was, 99 from Devon Conway. And by the way, anyone who has followed Devon Conway will know that even in the final of the Super Smash and the games previously, Devon Conway has been absolutely stellar. Even last season in the Super Smash, Devon Conway was superb. And the moment Tim Southee and Trent Bolt picked up the first 4 wickets for 19 runs, I mean, Matthew Wade, Glenn Maxwell, who who got out for one, Aaron Finch, and Australia, and of course Joshua Philippe. Australia was almost half done. Some resistance from Mitchell Marsh. Even Marcus Stoinis did not score too many, and then it was going to be an uphill task for Australia. As far as New Zealand, there were early wickets also. Jai Richardson bowling really well, picked up wickets. At the other hand, there were important wickets for New Zealand. Martin Guptill failed. Kane Williamson did not get too many. Tim Seifert failed. But then Devon Conway, first with Glenn Phillips, thereafter with Jimmy Neesham, mounted multiple partnerships, taking New Zealand to an impressive score, taking a 1-0 series lead in that opening game against Australia. Remember, Australia is missing some of their key players who were supposed to be part of the South Africa Test tour, which eventually got postponed because of COVID. News point number 4. In an interview with me, Surya Kumar Yadav, please watch the interview on Sports Today, tells us what he did when he was dropped from the series to Australia. He told his wife he had to go for a walk to recollect his thoughts, regain his composure, and that's when he decided to work the hardest that he can. And he also explains what he did when he was finally selected for the Indian team. An extremely good interview from Surya Kumar Yadav, candid, forthright, and he speaks really, really well. So hear that interview from Surya Kumar Yadav on Sports Today. It is already published. We premiered it at 12 noon. News point number 5, we've done an interview with Manika Batra also, and very interestingly, Manika Batra will soon be heading to Doha for 4 tournaments. And thereafter, she will be playing the Olympic qualification. And if she does well, Tokyo 2021 opens up. So to answer some of the questions that have been asked of me, yes, Tokyo is very much on track. Tokyo is very, very much on track. As of now, the question is crowds. How many, what percentage, etc., etc. That we have to wait and see. But as far as the media is concerned, we are regularly in touch. We have been asked to finalize our accommodation. We have been asked to complete the formalities. So Tokyo 2020 ALA 21 is very much on track as we speak. The details will come out end of March, into spring. The Japanese government has started vaccination also. Motera, 48 hours to go. Ishant Sharma to be playing his 100th test match. What an incredible achievement. Tomorrow I will celebrate Ishant Sharma more on my show. What an incredible achievement from Ishant Sharma. I remember that particular spell at Perth from the press box. There were a lot of us. Vikrant Gupta was there with me. Shivendra Kumar Sig was there. There were a lot of us senior journalists who are now in respective positions in various media houses. All of us watched it together from the media box at the WACA. When Yash Lahoti writing to me, superb news. Yes, Yash, you guys have been doing extremely good work as far as women's cricket is concerned. So yes, very, very good news. Domestic as well as international. Absolutely. That's why I told you, do watch the show. The 6 venues for the domestic and the international. Absolutely. Coming back to Ishant Sharma, what a spell that was. 9 overs. And then in the final over, picking up Ricky Ponting and India winning an incredibly good game. That 2008 test match in Perth. 2-1 series, but after Monkey Gate, that was an incredible win. And what an incredible spell of fast bowling from Ishant Sharma. From 2016 onwards, an entirely different sort of bowler. Bharat Arun has had an influence, but what a stellar career in the last 5 years, for Ishant Sharma. Terrific. So we will be celebrating him more. The Motera track, interestingly, the question is, can an SG pink ball turn as much? Will the Indians prepare a turner, or will it be somewhat green to hold it together? Will it have bounce? Rohit Sharma in the press conference rubbished the whole debate on the pitch, and rightly so. Like we've been saying on Sports Today, we expect the turner, but at the same time, there might be three pacers, two spinners. We will get you more details on Sports Today. Umesh Yadav, he is fit from what we know, and officially the announcement will come after his fitness test. But from what we know, that's the news coming out of the Motera. More on that front tomorrow on the eve of the game. Do you think wrist spinner, pink ball test, etc.? Indian pacers underrated? These are opinions. These are opinions. We will come to them. I mean, I think I've given you my bit today. So news point number 1 and 2, women's cricket. Australia versus New Zealand. Yes, Kylie Jamieson didn't do well. Glenn Maxwell didn't do well, but don't go by one game. And obviously, I've told you about Manika Batra. I've told you about the Motera test match. A lot more coming up on the Motera test match preview, pitch, the Indian faster bowlers, pink ball, the impact of the pink ball, the lacquer. Deep Das Gupta will be representing us there. So plenty more with him and Pragyan coming your way. Finally, my own team, ATK Mohun Bagan, will be playing against Hyderabad tonight at the ISL. And if they win, they qualify for the AFC Champions League. So as promised on Sports Today, it's multi-sport for you. It's multi-sport. Yes, cricket always takes precedence because that's what sells in this country. And we've got to make this platform viable. But at the same time, we will focus as much as possible on Olympic sport and on multi-sport. And Olympic sport, something very close to my heart, having covered 4 Olympic Games and having written the definitive history of India's Olympic encounter. So that's all I have for you today at 5 at 5. Keep supporting Sports Today. Subscribe to the channel. Plenty more coming your way. Do watch the Surya Kumar Yadav interview and keep giving us feedback. Thanks for watching.